Welcome back. Many people think of Memorial Day as the official start to summer, but the real meaning is, of course, to remember and honor the men and women of the armed forces who died serving our country. Joining us now to help show our support is Eric Rittmeyer. He is a former Marine and an expert in mental toughness and emotional intelligence. Welcome back, Eric.
Molly, good morning. So nice to see you again. Thanks for having me back.
It's great to see you too. And here's the thing, Memorial Day is a break for us in the summer. A lot of people associate it with backyard barbecues, getting together with friends and family, getting the summer off kind of to a fun start.
Right. And I think here's the thing about Memorial Day, Molly. It's okay to celebrate. It's wonderful. It's good to have cookouts. It's great to be around family. But I just feel like so much gets lost when people really just step back and look at what this holiday is all about. And I think a lot of people have forgotten that, not too long ago, and even currently where we are right now, we have people that are in other lands that are risking their lives to protect our country. So I think we just have to be very careful to make certain that we can celebrate, we can have a good time, but let's not forget what this holiday is all about. And it's about the people who have died before us defending our freedom in our country.
You make such a good point. And I think, to be honest, if you have a friend, a family member, someone close to you at work, whatever it may be, and they have someone serving overseas or serving in the military, it comes to mind and it's more present for you. But I think for many of us, we might see a shot, say, during the Super Bowl of our men and women serving in other parts of the country. And we see them, and it's kind of a reminder, wow, not all of us are sitting on the couch having a beer and popcorn watching the game. So for those of us who maybe don't have a close relative or friend who's serving, what can we do to support those people on Memorial Day?
Yeah, you bring up a wonderful point, Molly, and that's the truth. And right now, these wars we're in right now, I call these friends and family wars, meaning that unless you have a friend or family member that's actively involved, you're not going to be paying a whole bunch of attention to. And it's not in a negative way. It's just out of sight, out of mind. What we have to realize is that just 0.4% of our population, believe it or not, are active duty. But that 0.4% of people that are active duty have families that worry about them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So what we have to be very cautious of is letting people know, hey, I'm here for you. I support you. I got you. Reach out to them. The other critical part, too, I talk a lot about is explaining to our kids, talking to our kids about this, letting them understand what this is all about, what happened, based on their age, obviously. This is based on their mental capacity, but explain to them what Memorial Day is all about and why they should respect it and appreciate it. Let's not let that be lost.
Some people do things like annually or more often visit a cemetery, for example, if they've lost a loved one who's served. But what can we be doing if that's maybe not the case? Because I love what you say, pause, reflect, remember, honor. How can we do that on Memorial Day and other days to show our support?
Yeah, and this gets back to, this era we live in right now, Molly. It's more about social media than social interaction. So it's very difficult for us to really take a step back and look at everything and take a breath and just say, okay, where are we? Why are we here? What's going on? What are other issues that are happening around me? Step outside of my own little box and realize other people are going through difficult times. And I think this really goes back to, like you said, you can go to the cemetery, you can reach out to other veterans that are still alive and family members, people who have lost someone they love. But I think it all goes back to the most important thing we can do is educating our children, letting them live on, letting them pass this along to their kids. This gets lost. If we don't transfer this along to our children, it gets lost. We now have 2 or 3 generations of people who don't have a direct connection to people who served in combat. We got to be very cautious to make sure that we carry on that message.
What's something we can share with our kids? I mean, it has to be age appropriate, of course. And I think about real young kids, and you should start young. But what about, too, as kids get older? What would you say to a child if you had the opportunity?
Well, I think, again, this is all age dependent, Molly, and I talk a lot about this. It has to be based on their level of mental capacity. So we're going to address these things differently with our 7-year-old and our 15-year-old. But I think where it starts is asking questions. What do you know what Memorial Day stands for? What do you know about Memorial Day? And see where they come from, see where they stand. The younger kids, especially, a great way to introduce the concept of Memorial Day is to get them to understand the definition of memorial. And memorial means that's a remembrance of someone that we loved. It could be a pet, it could be a family family member, put the link there together to say, hey, you remember our pet dog, Roxy? Remember when she passed away? Well, remember that rock that we have out back on her for her remembrance? That's the same thing for people who have family members who served. Your great grandparents, people used to do this. They went places they didn't want to go because they loved their family and they wanted to protect our nation.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining us to talk about pausing, reflecting, remembering, and honor. Such an important reminder for us. Thanks, Eric.
You're the best, Molly. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And again, his book is called The Emotional Marine. All right, up next on the show, show those under-eye bags some mental toughness.